Welcome to the Maiden Heaney Exam Game Plan video series. This first session will deal with suggestions and tips on preparing for the exam. It's easy to think that you've had plenty of experience of sitting exams and you know how to prepare for exams, but we recommend that you don't try to revise in the same way you used to as a student. Your life has changed considerably since then, and you have a lot more responsibilities. The revision content for postgraduate exams is likely to be complex and vast. In general, we recommend starting the process for preparing 6 months in advance of the exam. This allows time for you to gather your information, speak to relevant people, and create a realistic plan. Talk to people who have sat the exam successfully recently. Ask them specifically for advice on what they think they did that contributed to that success. Talk to your supervisors, tutors, TPDs, and other people who are experienced in the exam and see what they can do to put you in touch with people to discuss the content, the structure, the point of the exam, to really gain an understanding of the purpose and what it's designed to test. Beware of people who give you their own personal opinion based on outdated information. Make sure that you read any official guidance from the exam setting body and download exam topic lists and curriculum. Start off by blue sky thinking your approach to the exam. If you had a magic wand, how would you prepare? What would you need to create that perfect environment? Once you've done that, you can look at the plan logically and identify how close it is that you can get to that plan. What elements are possible? What short-term changes or tweaks to your routine could you make? What support do you need and who could provide that support? Review your areas of current strengths and weaknesses. Make sure that you avoid spending too much time on things that are interesting to you or that you find fascinating. Think about where you can pick up the most marks. This isn't necessarily focusing on the areas that you're weakest in. It could be that you could pick up the majority of marks by improving existing areas of strength. If you're sitting the exam again, review any feedback from the last sitting and consider whether there are easy marks that you're dropping. It's simple to leave pieces of information in your head when under normal circumstances in the clinical environment you would explicitly state your next steps. So talk to your trainers, supervisors, tutors and ask for honest feedback on any knowledge gaps that they have noted. What resources are there that can help you support your revision for the exam? Not those just specifically designed for the exam, but those that will help deepen your clinical knowledge. Your revision should really help improve your clinical knowledge, your understanding, your reasoning skills, and help you become an even better clinician. Don't confine yourself to traditional forms of learning, such as textbooks and past papers. Beating yourself over the head with a textbook in the spare room, alone after a busy, stressful day or week, while family and friends are chilling, is not likely to help you develop lasting memory. Kolb explained that we learn best through doing, and therefore it makes sense that the best revision for a clinical exam will be in the workplace. How does that exam relate to your work environment? How can you use everyday experiences to deepen your knowledge? This slide contains generic examples of the types of things that you encounter in normal daily clinical life that can contribute towards your revision. Think actively about what you've learned or encountered today and how that relates to your exam curriculum. Jot notes down on your phone or in a notebook and think about them as you commute back on your way home. When you get home, look at your revision notes, read up around that case and think around how you can deepen your knowledge. A brief conversation with a colleague or supervisor about a particular case can also embed this in your memory. Ask your supervisor or the clinician working alongside you what it was that they saw that led them to a diagnosis or a conclusion that you were unsure of. Make brief notes and reflect on this and build it into your revision when you get home. As an example, I was coaching an anaesthetics trainee who told me that their weakest subject was anatomy. And this was something that they wanted to focus on, but they didn't get opportunity in the workplace. So we talked around the anatomy that was particularly relevant to the procedure that she was currently overseeing. And think about the anatomy that you can see when the patient is on the table, what the anatomy the clinician will have had to have taken into account in order to complete that operation, and then relate that back to the exam curriculum. Break your study days or weekends into 3 periods: morning, afternoon and evening. Aim to revise for no more than 1 to 2 of these periods, but never 3 in a day. You will exhaust yourself. Factor life commitments into and work into your revision plan and ask your partner or family what they would also like included. Think about how you can help with any family responsibilities or have quality time with friends and loved ones during the 1 to 2 periods that you're not revising. It might be a reduced amount, but try to make sure you include it in your plan, as it helps to balance this period of your life and avoid tensions in your family life. Keep up your hobbies as much as you can. If you love going to the gym 3 times a week for an hour, you might have to reduce it or reduce the length of time, but try as hard as you can not to drop it completely. Whatever your pleasure is, guilty or otherwise, keep it up and reframe this as part of your preparation, as you can't take in new information if you're mentally exhausted. By reframing your downtime as part of your revision preparation, this can help you relax during that period of time. Make sure that you build in these breaks and enjoyable activities into your revision timetable. Think about your diet. Could you possibly batch cook or freeze meals, or draw up a list of easy meal options that make it easier to shop and cook? Don't abandon healthy eating habits, but don't obsess about it either. This is a time to be realistic and do the best that you can. Don't forget to keep on top of your portfolio requirements. You will still need to have fulfilled the minimum evidence requirements by the deadline, regardless of the exam. So don't create an extra problem for yourself. Little and often portfolio activity will stop it becoming an albatross. Consider how you could use peer groups. Study groups with your peers can be very useful. Try to make sure that they contain a variety of learning styles, experience and background so that you get a wide variety of experience during that. Talk to colleagues and other people around how they might help you give a small amount of their time to prepare for the exam. Think about how you could reciprocate by helping them with something else. Thinking about any revision sessions that you've got planned in advance and really drilling down onto the questions that you want to ask your supervisor or the clinician that's helping you will help you get the best out of it. We hope that you found these suggestions useful. And we'll be moving on to talk in our next video, thinking about how we learn best and approaches to revision.